Are you a woman in small business? Maybe you're an NDIS, maybe you're a coach, mentor, maybe you're a consultant, and you're not landing with your ideal clients, or you're just not landing with clients. Today, I'm going to talk about why it's really important to identify your ideal client. So, it's important to think about who your ideal client is because then you can know that person, you can really relate to them. When you post things, say on Facebook or social media, then you can post things that absolutely they can relate to. So if you know who your ideal client is, so it might be a woman 45 to 55, for example, in small business, working from home. And if you've identified that, you can think about their pain points. You can think about what they might be thinking when they're watching your videos or when they're maybe thinking about considering your services. So it's important to think about that because if you try and help everyone, you end up helping no one. So if you can identify a person that your ideal client's pain points, what they might be thinking, and the problem that you solve for them, it's really important because if you're not landing, if you're not connecting, or if you're not thinking about what's important to them, then it's really hard to connect. But when you get to know your ideal client, so think about their demographics, think about are they professional? Are they stay at home parent, perhaps? Maybe they're working, or maybe they're in corporate or not in corporate. Maybe they're whoever they are. It's really important to think about who is your ideal client and focus on that demographic because if you're trying to help different people, then you don't connect. So it's important. It's also important because you can focus your efforts. So maybe, if you're in small business working from home, what I hear a lot of, I'm really stressed. I'm trying to do it all. I'm trying to help everyone. But if you just focus on a really small part of the market, then that focused part of the market thinks, wow, she's talking to me. She identifies with where I'm at. She absolutely knows what I'm thinking. She knows what I'm thinking. So some of the things that you need to think about when you're identifying your ideal clients, so their demographic, so where they might be hanging out, what do they do on weekends, where do they spend their spare time? Because it might be that you focus on some of those other places. For example, when I'm talking to providers of NDIS, everybody's in the same place. Everybody's trying to service clients with NDIS and providers. But if you think about who your ideal client is under NDIS, for example, it might be that if you're targeting NDIS for children, then you'd be looking at schools. That's where you focus your energy. Or if you're thinking about teenagers, for example, that are going into the workforce, then you might think about what's important to them at that stage. So it might be working at that stage. And those sorts of things are important to them. So it's really a good idea to be able to know what they're thinking, what's important to them. So it also helps you know where to find them and know what to say, know what to post, how you're going to connect with them and how they're going to relate to you. So you need to think about their pain points. What is it that's driving them? What is it that keeps them awake at night? What are the pain points? What are the things that you can help them with? What is their buying behavior? Would they only spend up to $100, or would they maybe spend $5,000 on your service because you've got something that they really, really want? So it's important to know their buying behavior. Do they only buy if you post on Facebook at nighttime, for example? So it's really important to know their buying behavior. And also think about their goals and aspirations. So when I'm talking to women, the goals and aspirations that the women have, or the women that I've spoken to, they all have something to offer. They all know that they've got skills and abilities. They might be coming from corporate or they're coming from bureaucracy, and they know they've got skills and abilities and things to offer, but they're not being appreciated for what they have. So those are the women that I can help. So with skills and abilities and understanding these women just want to get a little bit of extra income. So if that's you, I'm here to help you. You're my target market. You're my ideal client. You're the woman that knows you have skills and abilities, and you feel like you're not being heard. You feel like you're not being connected. But if you could just connect with your ideal client, you know that you can help them. You know that you can help them get over that gap. So if that's you, then you're my ideal client. You're my target client. But those women that I've spoken to, the 45 to 55, I know that they all feel unheard. They all think that, imposter syndrome. They feel like they've got something, but they don't feel they're worthy. They don't think that there's people that will use their services. Let me tell you, there's plenty of people that you can help. There's plenty of people you can help. Um, and the goals and thoughts that they have is that they just want a little bit of extra income, a little bit on the side. So if I'm talking about what are your goals and what are your aspirations, so my people are looking to make a little bit of extra income, to be able to afford that nice dress, nice clothes, take themselves out, afford to have their hair done, or maybe to take their children away on holidays. That's what I heard a lot of. They want to be able to afford those little extra things to help their children. So if that's you, then you're my ideal client, and I'd love to help you. So I set this up so that I could help more women, empower more women to step up, be heard, and have their skills and abilities mapped out in a way that they can be used and to get that little extra income. So I'm Christine, Empowered Women in Business. Bye for now.